Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL's Draft Diamonds, and we are the scouting staff for this season's Hula Bowl. Today, this interview is sponsored by Publix. Publix supermarkets are the premier quality food retailer. Stop by today to pick up top of the line produce, baked goods, and groceries. Today, I have with me Brodarious Hamm. He's an offensive lineman out of Auburn. How's your day going, buddy?
I was going pretty good. How about yours?
Doing well, man. We are inching closer and closer to our event with the Hula Bowl. We had invited you, which is exciting to have you down. Also invited one of your teammates Demetrius Robertson. So I mean, exciting to have a teammate of yours down here as well. So I do want to talk about you, your journey, share that with the viewers. So give us like a brief background of you and your history, if you don't mind.
Yes, like I said, my name is Brodarious Hamm. I'm from Griffin, Georgia. I played at Spalding High School. It's a small city. It was a 4A division. I said Spalding High School from Griffin, Georgia. I was recruited by Rodney Garner. I kind of fell in love with Auburn. As on my first visit, like I said, I just fell in love with the place, and I just love the family atmosphere. So,
Sure. So I mean, obviously, Auburn's SEC, very solid program. Known for a whole lot of great traditions, some wonderful prospects out, come out of there all the time. So typically, big, strong, physical offensive linemen like yourself. So um, anyhow, I said offensive lineman, but explain just a little bit about the position that you actually play or have played over the course of your career.
yes, sir. I play offensive tackle. I can move in the guard. It's not a problem. I prefer guard, but I can move out to the tackle spot if need be. I was originally a D lineman in high school, but then, like I said, I kind of had some injuries, so I moved to the offensive side of the ball. And my head coach told me that, you'll probably play offensive guard at the next level, that meaning college. So, got to college, I was a guard, then I moved out to tackle, and then I moved, back and forth. So I ended my career as a tackle, though. So I could play
Gotcha.
either.
Um, to be quite honest with you, like I don't know where exactly that we have you, placed on our roster. Whether you're going to be a guard or tackle, may actually have some, opportunities to play both, which is interesting. So, Brodarious, man, I know you're a big dude. So without me, trying to guess how big you are, what's your current height and weight status these days?
6'5", 320.
6'5", 320. I actually have you at like 6'6". So are you like 6'5" and some change then?
I said 6'5". It's almost 6'6". So
All
yeah.
right, all right. Yeah, no, that's good. So it's like 6'5" and a half or whatever. But you got a guy who's like 320. Sometimes upwards to 330. Depending on if it's like after Thanksgiving or something. So obviously you got this very big dude. Some of the measurements that also came with you, just kind of doing research on you, you get a guy with some really long arms, about 35-inch plus.
Yes,
Obviously that really helps at the next level, having that length, being able to, being able to play like on the outside. So also having some big mitts too. So I can see him there. So you got, at least what is it like 10, almost 11-inch hands, which is
yes.
kind of crazy. So use those and be dangerous with them for sure. So um, anyway, so offensive tackle, guard, probably more so on the right side, right? Is that kind of
Yes.
fair? Okay. Let me kind of read something, if you don't mind, about what one of our scouts actually had to say about you. So hear me out here. It says, uh, above average athlete who shows quickness, agility, and acceleration on at the line of scrimmage. Displays a solid overall ability as a run blocker, generating movement at the point of attack. very good play strength, having the ability to overpower competition, especially when pulling on power runs. Uh, so is that kind of how you see yourself as like a very solid, you know, um, run blocker? Define for people a little bit about your skill set, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir. I would label myself as a really good run blocker. I'm just really strong. I like to lift. Like I said, I don't. I have just. I like to work on everything in my game, but like I said, I would label myself as just a dominant run blocker. I like to get my hands on you and to get good movement at the point of attack. So
Yeah, so I mean, obviously a guy who, like in a power run, like scheme, is going to be very physical, going to completely overpower you, at the line of scrimmage. So, talk about the offenses that you've been running like throughout the course of your time there at Auburn. Like, has that changed much at all?
yeah, my last year it changed a lot. Actually, we ran a lot more power and everything, and just the scheme and overall of how I had to learn things, and it just was different. And like I said, it was just a totally different offense and experience. So I'm glad I had it.
Gotcha. And obviously, quarterback play has changed a little bit over the past few years. So, having a quarterback there who you never know where that guy's going to be. He's going to really create some excitement there. Talk about your quarterback there, and maybe some of the different kinds of quarterbacks that you've blocked for over your time.
Okay, yeah, pretty much. Like I said, you have Bo Nix. He's mobile, really mobile. Likes to get outside the pocket. He can make a lot happen on the ground. Really good passer, smart, like really smart. Then you have your TJ Finley's, tall, 6'7", really big arm. He's mobile too. Like I said, he just pretty much different. They bring their own different aspects to the game, and like I said, I enjoy playing with both of them. So.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously blocking for two different types of quarterbacks there. The bigger guy obviously still can be mobile with Finley, but when you get a guy like Nix, like I'll be completely honest with you, man. Like Nix he's scary at times. It's like, what in the world is this guy doing? But then he'll pull a play like from out of nowhere, dude. Like I've seen him like run like all back and forth and like somehow ends up coming down with a completion sometimes for a touchdown. So it could be nuts trying to hold your blocks and not actually it being a holding call. So very exciting offense having him there. So definitely interesting. um, I do want to kind of talk just kind of in general about your you and the type of lineman that you are. Is there maybe a guy at the next level that you're trying to aspire to be? I mean, who are you trying to who are you fans of at the next level that kind of play your position? Like, who are you looking at? Who are your role models, I suppose?
My role model is I talk a lot to Mike Horton. He was here, older guy
Hmm.
he was here when I first got here, and Braden Smith. Those two guys. I haven't talked to Braden lately, but I just try to model my game after them. Just watching what they did while they were here, and at the next level, also just grind, man, and just I want to label myself as a physical. Well, I am a physical lineman, and like I said, I love to be physical.
Gotcha. Let's talk about that physicality, man. Obviously, you got to put in the grind. Prepare yourself for your opponents like on a weekly basis. So let's just chat about you know that process. So talking about game prep. So part of that is film room. So just kind of describe just briefly like how that has changed for you since your time there at Auburn, and how does your work there in the film room really pay off like in a game time situation? Even give me an example if you got one.
Just I know, like I said, watching film is really important. Like I say, you get to, it's basically the cheat code to the test. Just learning what your opponent's going to do, knowing their favorite moves, and just, just locking in on actually not just watching film, but actually like learning and, just like I said, prepare. Just the answers to the test, it depends on how you watch it. And like I said, it really helped me a lot. And it's just certain games and, big time athletes, guys that, 6'5", 6'6", 275, 280, that can actually move and bend. And I feel like it actually helped me a lot just learning, going into the game, knowing what they like to do. So,
Yeah, I mean, obviously, playing in the SEC, playing in best conference in college football. I mean, against some of the best competition. So, really being challenged on a regular basis. Whether it be against the you know Florida, LSU, Alabama, Georgia, all those guys. I mean, Georgia's obviously Georgia and Alabama obviously going to be playing in the national title game. So having to play those guys on a regular basis has definitely got to be, one heck of a challenge. But obviously, a guy who, hey, every so often, man, you're going to come out on top and you're going to win some of those one-on-ones with some of the best talent out there. So, I mean, obviously, so. Um, do you want to just chat just briefly also about that grind? I mean, you're a big physical guy, so how physical are you in the weight room, man? Tell me about your approach to the weight room, and maybe even share your favorite lift.
just I like to go in there, like, I already warmed up. I try to bring juice. Like I said, I'm not much of a talker, but like I said, once we get going, I like to, try to rep my guys up, get them going, and let's, just load the bar as much as you can, and let's just move the weight. And I feel like my favorite lift probably would be deadlift. I love deadlifting. I think my max went up to like 780. Just moving weight. Like I just enjoy doing it. So.
So 780 deadlift. That's pretty nice. I mean, other thing too. I mean, obviously, it's kind of interesting is you get a guy with like these really long arms. So it's like 35 plus inches. So like a lot of people like whenever they put you to the test of like that bench, like people forget like how much more work a guy like you because you got the long arms you have to do. So like have you tested yourself in that regard as well? Like, do you know where you're at with like that 225 thing yet, or are you still training with that?
Yeah, I'm training with it right now. I pretty much know. I did it earlier, right, like probably right before the season, and I got like 26, 27, and like so I'm trying to, increase that by at least 5. Just trying to, do much as I can, and like I said, with the training we're doing here, I feel like I'm gonna be fine. So.
Well, I mean, I'll be straight with you, man. 27 reps for a guy with your length is excellent. So, I mean, I'm not having to worry about, you so much there. I mean, again, like some evaluators, they look at those numbers and they think, oh my goodness, like this guy's got some, like, maybe 20 reps. Well, obviously, like he's got like a couple extra inches this way, a couple extra inches this way. So he's working more than these guys with these like maybe 31-inch arms. So obviously, really a lot going for you there with that physicality. So love that about you and your game for sure. So um, let's chat briefly about some of your highlights and lowlights of your career. So, I mean, is there maybe maybe a memorable moment or a game that still sticks in your brain, like maybe a play that sticks out in your career?
Um, I guess I had a lot of good moments at Auburn. Like I said, I had some lows too. Probably just, well, I have to say going to Death Valley and winning. Like I said, it was ugly, but we pulled it out in the end. And I feel like that was probably my most, just memorable moment.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, obviously playing against some of your rivals there, so being able to come out on top. Hey, man, it's a competitive conference, so like you got to celebrate those wins when you get them. So I completely understand you there. So um, one thing about prospects at times is You gotta want guys that have been battle tested, that have really gone through adversity and really, just come out even a better person at the end. So, was there maybe one time in your life where like you were able to overcome a struggle, and really, just kind of grow out of that? Do you mind sharing something?
Yes, it's I had two, like I said, two moments in my life. Really three, but my first one would be just overcoming cancer. Then I lost my son. Um, and like I said, my grandmother passed, and she was just a big role model in my life. So those three would be.
Interesting. So, like, when I was doing research on you, the first thing that came up really was the fact that you had to overcome cancer treatments, like when you first got to Auburn. So you figure you get these guys, hey, they're recruiting you, they're bringing you in, and so, oh, by the way, this guy's got to, deal with some treatments. Like, how did that work? Like that first year for you?
Actually, when I got diagnosed, Auburn called me and I called them and told them the news, and they told me that my scholarship would be don't worry about it, just worry about getting healthy, and that kind of took some stress off my shoulders, and I know my parents' shoulders, just knowing that they had my back, and like I said, actually they came and sat with me, throughout some of my treatments, and that just meant a lot to me, man, and just knowing they had my back like that, it was just let's go get it, let's whatever the doctor said I need to do, let's do it, and let's get this thing going. So
That's kind of neat, man. Because like, there's a part of me that feels like maybe not everybody would have still had that scholarship on the table. Maybe have pulled that scholarship. I mean, I don't know what went into that, but obviously, they felt very strongly about you. Wanted to bring you in, wanted you to be a huge part of that offense. So, which you have been. I mean, you've been a starter there for a while. Really being a solid fixture there on the offensive line. Um, Brodarious, man, there have been a lot of people over the years that have poured into you as coaches and teammates.
mm,
Talk to me about some of those guys. Maybe even like one of the best lessons you've ever learned from a coach.
um, I would say one of the best lessons that I ever learned was probably from my let me see. I'll probably say my high school coach, man. He tried to tell me back when I was in high school, that yeah, you did this right, but at the same time, you got to do the little things right. And his name was Josh Coffey, Joshua Coffey, actually. And he told me just like, yeah, man, you made a good block, but you did this wrong, you did that wrong. And like, I wish I would have listened more back then. So when I got to college, I would be more prepared for it. But just doing the little things right, actually, they really do matter. So,
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like part of that too, Brodarious, is really just like, you know, um, always trying to improve yourself. Always, taking whatever you can from these coaches, and even some of the little things, making yourself just a smidge better, like each and every time you go out there. Obviously, something that is going to help, drive you to success. So, and obviously having some success there. So, um, and really doing some good things out there for Auburn. Got your degree too, didn't you? I mean, tell me a little bit about you as a student there at Auburn.
yeah, man, like I said, it was rough. Like I said, it took me a while to get it, but I left there with it, and just all the support I had. And me and my counselor, we had a great relationship. His name was Jerry Kaplan. Like I said, he had a big impact on my life, man. Just, I mean, he probably don't know it, but he probably do know it. But at the same time, he just pushed me, man. Just, told me I could do better when I was, slacking a little bit, and just like I said, he kept me going, and just like I said, my last few years, I just, was mindset on getting my degree before I leave, and he actually helped me do that. So, like I said, I want to thank him for that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, obviously being able to have that check mark, being able to show your degree to your parents and say, you know what, man, I got it. So obviously, something you got to be proud of there for sure. So let's get a chance to meet Brodarious Hamm, Mr. Broham himself, outside of football. So Tell me a little something interesting, fun about yourself that maybe not everybody knows. Go for it, man. Hobbies, interests, or anything.
Um, I say probably one of my hobbies. I play the video game a little bit. Like I actually like to chill with my wife and my daughter. I like to try to get out and just enjoy them as much as I can when I have time. So that's pretty much my hobby.
Awesome. Well, I mean, obviously, when you got a family, family comes first. So, like,
Definitely.
God take care of them, be there for everybody. So, uh, one quick question, kind of out of nowhere. Let's see. Uh, your favorite. Let's see. If you had like a favorite snack food.
Mm. Favorite snack food. We talking just snacks or just like,
Yeah, favorite snack, maybe even favorite meal.
ooh, my favorite meal. Just growing up, man, I love hamburger helper. I stopped eating it back in college just because I had to watch my weight. But that probably would be my go-to meal. That or wings. I definitely love wings.
Awesome, awesome. I mean, definitely some good wings. Can't go wrong there. I don't think I've had hamburger helper in the past. What is it now? 12 years or something. It's been a while since I've had hamburger helper.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I grew up on that stuff too, man. So I completely, agree with you there. So really excited again, once again, having you come down to the Hula Bowl. That game being on the 15th of January. So one of the last things that I want to, give you is I want to give you the option of just talking to some scouts. Um, so you're going to come down to Orlando. You're going to have all these interviews with scouts. They're going to get to see you out there perform. But I want to give you the opportunity to just address them right now. Tell them why they need to take a chance on you, maybe draft you, sign you, and what you would bring to their franchise. So go ahead and hit them with your pitch.
Oh yes, sir. Just for all the scouts out there, man. I just like I said, I just need an opportunity. I bring a lot to the table. I'm very physical, willing to learn. I'm gonna always give 110%. I'm gonna, be on time. Whatever you need me to do, I'm willing to do it. Like I said, my role is just getting people hyped for the game. Let's go. Like I'm willing to embrace any role I get. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, once again, I mean, you have a guy who's very big, very physical, almost 6'6", 325 pounds of just uh, animal. Coming at you, willing to block. For whatever scheme he's in, whatever type of quarterback he's got. Has some position versatility, playing some guard or some tackle. So, but also having like once again like some length to really do some great things out there. Maybe as a right tackle, which would be great. Very solid run blocker, which I feel like a lot of people can really rely upon. So, Brodarious, thank you once again for this interview, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Once again, you'll be able to see Brodarious at the Hula Bowl on the 15th of January here soon. This interview was sponsored by Publix. Big mahalo and have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. You too. Thank you.